Hey everyone, Jay Whitner here with Space Headlines. We do a quick recap every week on what's gone on in space, and today we'll be talking about the third week of January 2020. The Boeing Starliner has returned from its test flight and landed in New Mexico and has been brought back to Kennedy Space Center. The news is that the Starliner suffered less wear and tear than had been expected in its test flight. And what's left now is for NASA to determine how they want to move forward. The Starliner did not rendezvous and dock with the ISS as it was supposed to. That was one of the contract items. So NASA needs to decide if they want to have Boeing repeat the uncrewed test flight, or if they want to go ahead and put a crew on the Starliner for the next flight. Arianespace launched two communication satellites into orbit. The launch took place from Prince Guyana in South America. It was on an Ariane 5 rocket, and the satellites were the property of Eutelsat and India. The government of Luxembourg, which has been quite visionary in terms of space, has invested in a company called Orbital Ventures. And this investment fund has already attracted $78 million. And the fund is going to target early stage space companies. Luxembourg also announced that they are working on a 5-year plan for space science and technology that they intend to follow. SpaceX made arrangements for live streaming of their Crew Dragon in-flight abort test. And this will be shared on the SpaceX website, on the NASA website. And since it's going to be good TV, I guess you'd call it, with the Crew Dragon separating and the launching Falcon 9 exploding, presumably a lot of different news agencies will tune in to watch the show. And I know we repeated the graphic from the last slide, but I just couldn't resist. It's such a great graphic. So the Crew Dragon abort test went perfectly. Everything seemed to go exactly right. The Crew Dragon separated cleanly from the Falcon 9 rocket. It flew off to a safe distance. Later, it popped the parachutes, which also worked fine. And the Dragon landed smoothly in the Atlantic Ocean. And as expected, the Falcon 9 rocket that provided the velocity necessary to conduct the test exploded after the Crew Dragon separated from the Falcon 9. So the short version is that between the long heritage of Falcon 9 and Dragon and the successful docking of the Crew Dragon with ISS last year, and this successful test of the in-orbit abort, America is poised to return to flight. So thanks to Elon Musk, Gwynne Shotwell, and the entire SpaceX team. A California startup named Skylo, that I'm embarrassed to say I've not been familiar with previously, has really raised $116 million. And what they intend to do is use the existing geostationary satellites as a network for different items to connect with each other and communicate. So while they do have several different markets that they want to work on, a big part of what they apparently intend to do is to work with fleets of trucks and ships so that their owners can track them and manage these assets more efficiently. So this is an exciting startup. $116 million is a lot of money for a young company. Made in Space is the premier company for in-space 3D printing and other novel ways to make things in space. And the firm has been growing very, very strongly. They had been headquartered in California and had a very small office in Jacksonville, Florida. This news is very exciting and great news. Made in Space is moving their headquarters from California to Florida. So instead of having a couple of offices in Florida, They're going to have this big 20,000 square foot facility in Jacksonville. In addition to the headquarters, they're going to do manufacturing there, and equipment testing, and so forth. We welcome Made in Space to Florida, and I want to congratulate Andrew Rush, Michael Snyder, and Justin Kugler and the whole team there at Made in Space. Congratulations to you all. That's it for our show covering the third week of January 2020. Check back with us in a week or so, and we'll talk about the fourth week of January. Take care.